In a quiet zoo corner, a mother carried her newborn for the first time. The baby's tiny breaths melted hearts around every passing soul. But behind the glass, someone else watched, silently, curiously. A massive gorilla, eyes deep with stories untold, stood still. His gaze wasn't wild, it was warm, like an ancient protector. Visitors laughed, unaware something rare was about to unfold. The mother turned, sensing the gorilla's gentle attention. Their worlds, human and wild, suddenly aligned in silence. Slowly, she lifted her baby closer to the glass window. The gorilla leaned in, almost holding his breath in awe. No one moved. The air grew heavy, filled with quiet emotion. His dark eyes shimmered, reflecting innocence he'd long forgotten. The mother smiled, tears glimmering. She felt something pure in that fragile second. Love crossed every barrier made by man. The gorilla pressed his hand softly to the glass. The baby wriggled, cooed, and reached his tiny fingers out. The moment froze. Two hearts met without a word. A hush fell over the room as eyes filled with tears. This wasn't just a meeting. It was a reminder of soul's unity. Sometimes love speaks loudest in the silence between species. In the peaceful zoo, sunlight danced across glass and stone. A mother walked gently, cradling her newborn in tender arms, crowds whispered, but one pair of eyes watched in stillness. The gorilla sat quietly, his gaze fixed upon the small bundle. In that silence, something beyond nature began to stir. The mother felt the weight of unseen eyes, yet no fear at all. She turned slightly, meeting a gaze full of calm wonder. Between the two, a glass wall, but hearts already spoke. Her baby sighed softly, unaware of the bond about to form. The gorilla tilted his head, as if remembering something lost. It wasn't curiosity, it was connection, ancient and deep. For a moment, the world faded. Only compassion remained. People nearby stopped, sensing a rare and sacred energy. No words, no roars, only peace filled the quiet space. The mother smiled softly, moved by his soulful eyes. The gorilla's hand rested gently against the glass wall. Their breaths aligned, slow, steady, like one heartbeat. A whisper of destiny floated in that tender stillness. This was not chance. It was a meeting written by life, a reminder. Love knows no species, only hearts that feel. Her heart raced as the gorilla leaned closer, eyes locked on the baby. She wondered, was this safe or something beautifully unknown? The zoo walls felt smaller, like nature wanted to speak again. She stepped closer, trusting something words could not explain. The gorilla's hand trembled slightly, yet his gaze stayed kind. People gasped, holding their breath as emotions swelled. The mother's instincts shifted. Not fear, but faith, she whispered softly to her child. It's okay, he's kind, the gorilla blinked, as if he understood every word. Their connection was silent, yet deeply spiritual. Even the baby seemed to sense the purity in that gaze. The air was heavy with tenderness, almost sacred. The baby's tiny fingers reached toward the shimmering glass. The gorilla's eyes widened, filling with a deep, soulful light. Something inside him awakened, an old memory of care. He pressed his palm against the barrier. Soft, steady, real. The baby's hand met the glass, resting against his. A mother, a baby, and a beast, yet none felt apart. Tears welled in the mother's eyes. She whispered, "Thank you." Love had crossed the invisible line between worlds. Behind those eyes lived a lifetime of loss and loneliness. He once held his own, a baby taken too soon. That memory had never faded, only hidden in his silence. Now seeing this newborn, that old ache awoke again. He didn't roar, didn't move. He remembered love. His heart stirred, not with instinct but pure affection. Every blink, every breath carried meaning unspoken. He knelt closer, gently bowing his massive frame. The baby's coo echoed softly, like a song to his soul. Zookeepers watched in awe, frozen by the moment. No training could explain what they were witnessing. It was not man or beast. It was life recognizing life. The gorilla's fingers trembled, tracing the glass gently. He hummed a low sound, ancient, comforting, true. The mother placed her hand over his, completing the bridge. Through tears, she whispered, "He remembers." The gorilla's eyes glistened with something divine. His pain met her compassion, blending into peace. In that instant, two hearts healed together in silence. Love had found a way back home. The baby blinked, wide-eyed, seeing his first great wonder. Tiny fingers waved, unaware of the miracle he created. The gorilla's massive hand mirrored his every movement. It was beauty, raw, real, and impossibly gentle. Every person watching forgot the walls between them. The baby smiled. The gorilla's chest rose with calm rhythm. Two souls spoke without sound, beyond human reason. The air shimmered with warmth that words can't capture. Even nature seemed to pause, honoring their bond. The gorilla tilted his head, as if offering a silent blessing. The baby giggled, breaking the sacred tension. The sound lit up the gorilla's expression with quiet joy. The mother sobbed softly, holding her child closer. No fear, only gratitude. She felt the gorilla's heart. For once, wildness looked tender, not fierce or foreign. A line between species blurred into a perfect moment. Every heart watching learned the meaning of innocence. The gorilla stayed still, savoring this fragile miracle. The mother whispered, "You understand love too." And love answered back through silence and glass. Time froze, every heartbeat, every tear, perfectly still. The zoo wasn't a place of captivity anymore. It was sacred. The gorilla bowed his head, as if in reverence to life. He stayed like that, hand against glass, eyes wet. The mother stood in quiet awe, her baby glowing in sunlight. This was not a spectacle. It was pure, unspoken truth. Nature itself seemed to sigh in relief. Connection restored. Cameras clicked, but the magic couldn't be captured. Something divine had happened beyond the lens. The gorilla whispered with his eyes, "Protect him well." The baby cooed one last time, smiling at his silent friend. The mother nodded, as if promising to honor that trust, and just like that, the gorilla stepped back, slowly, gently. He looked once more, then turned toward the trees. The crowd remained in silence long after he was gone. Some wiped tears, others simply held their children closer. No one spoke. They all felt the same deep truth. That moment would echo in every heart that saw it. Because love, in its purest form, needs no words, only two souls one wild, one new, and one eternal bond. The moment lingered like sunlight after rain. The gorilla stayed near the glass, breathing slow, steady. His dark eyes shimmered, not with sadness, but calm. The mother smiled softly, whispering, "Goodbye, friend," the baby cooed, tiny fingers waving in the air. It was as if he knew he was saying farewell, too. The gorilla bowed his head, a silent blessing for them both. No sound, no growl, just peace between two souls. The mother pressed her hand against the glass one last time. Their palms met, hers warm, his strong yet tender, the world around them blurred, fading into quiet reverence. Even the zoo staff stood still, unable to break the spell. Then, slowly, the gorilla stepped back. Retreating into shadow, he looked once more over his shoulder, gentle, eternal. The mother held her baby close, heart full of something holy. She didn't feel like she was leaving. She felt watched over. Love had crossed the boundaries of cages and fear. The gorilla sat down, his head turned toward the sunlight. He had given something away and received it back. The mother walked away with tears that tasted like peace. Later, the zookeeper stood quietly by the enclosure. He had known this gorilla for years. Strong, unpredictable, fierce. But that day, he saw something different, something human. He whispered to himself, "He's not just an animal." He remembered the gorilla's past, the baby he had lost. The day he stopped eating, stopped playing, just grieved. Now he understood why today mattered so deeply. The gorilla had seen life again and chosen tenderness. It wasn't instinct or it was remembrance. Empathy, love. He wiped a tear from his eye, ashamed of ever doubting him. The keeper later told the mother, "You healed him," but she only smiled softly and said, "He healed me too. 2 lives changed, connected by something invisible." That story became a whisper among the zoo's staff. They spoke of it quietly, as if speaking of a sacred thing. The keeper began visiting more often, not to control, to listen. He realized that love teaches even those who think they know. The gorilla, once lonely, now watched families with warmth, and every baby that passed reminded him, love lives on. Even behind glass, the heart still finds a way to reach out. When the footage reached the world, silence followed. Then came the tears. Millions of them, from every corner. People didn't just see a gorilla, and they saw a reflection of themselves. The story spread faster than news. It touched hearts. Parents wrote, saying they'd hugged their kids tighter that night. Teachers played the clip in classrooms. Teaching kindness, animal lovers saw proof of the soul that lives in every creature. And scientists quietly admitted, emotions aren't ours alone. The zoo became a place of hope instead of pity. People came not to stare, but to feel. Flowers, letters, and baby blankets appeared by the enclosure. Someone hung a sign, "Love speaks through silence." The gorilla's calm face became a global symbol of peace. The mother's photo holding her baby spread like light. It wasn't fame. It was faith in goodness reborn. Humanity remembered what it had forgotten. Compassion, full of love. The world doesn't need more strength. It needs more softness. Compassion is not weakness. It is the highest form of wisdom. Even a gorilla behind bars could show us freedom of the soul. Because true love doesn't belong to one kind. It belongs to all. In every act of empathy, the world heals a little more, and in every story like this, we remember who we are. So hold your loved ones closer, human or animal. It doesn't matter, for love, once shared, never dies. It only grows, and sometimes the truest teachers of love don't speak at all.